I heard a very wise question. It was yesterday, and I was watching. This guy was brilliant. Oh, he was charming and handsome. His name was Chael. And Charming Chael asked a question: should Volkanovski call out Henry Cejudo? Now that Henry is back on the table, is that something that could serve Volk? Is it the wisest move for Volk? I've had a day to reflect on it. No. I meant no. I do worry about Volkanovski from a marketing standpoint. I do think there's some big misses there. I don't think he wants to be making these mistakes. I think he wants to stay the main event. I think. But either way, at some point, Volk has done his job. In all fairness, at some point, Volkanovski, who came down from 211 pounds to 145 pounds and has become the most dominant featherweight ever. They asked Volkanovski about this, by the way. Guys said, hey, are you the greatest featherweight of all time? He said, no, I will be. I need 2 more. He's wrong. It's not his choice. You hear athletes all the time come out and say, I'm the greatest of it. We'll decide if you're the greatest, and we have not decided that you are. But you'll hear them continue to say it. But the same thing, right? That coin has 2 sides, which when you have a guy like Volk that says no, the answer is yes. Adesanya came out and said he's the greatest ever. But it's guys like Adesanya that are going to make that decision, not Volk. I'm just sharing with you, Volk is the greatest 45-pounder ever. I don't need to hear about resumes. I don't need to hear how many years he had it or how many times he defended. I don't need to hear about finishes and knockouts and submissions. I don't need any of that. Real simple. Have I ever seen a 45-pounder in the history of my life that can beat Volkanovski? No. Okay, then Volkanovski's the guy. That's the math here. It's not defenses, just so you understand. You hear people try to argue resumes all the time. It's not. One guy could be the best in shorter windows. See it all the time. Chael Sonnen won the Olympic Games, retired from the sport, never went back. I mean, just by example. Other guys won it 2 times. Other guys have 3 medals. Chael is recognized for what he, right? I mean, it's one of those things. I don't need to see it anymore. I've seen enough. That guy could not lose and could not beat any other guy. He's, right? It's one of those things. Okay. Volkanovski, and when I tell you that he's done enough, he has done enough. At some point, it's up to the passengers. If you want on that seat next to him, if you want to do big business, if you want to get main events, that's up to you. You got to figure that out. Volk does not need to lower himself. Volk does not need to start calling guys out. Volk does not need to do any kind of publicity stunt. He has done his part, and he gave everybody a chance to beat him. Everybody. He gave some guys multiple chances to. He's done his part. I know the question was my own question, but I needed a moment to reflect on it. And no, everything's fine. There is mistakes that Volk makes. There's landmines that he steps on. Changing his appearance, training at one gym, representing it gets a little bit hard. That's on us, guys. We're going to have to figure this out. We cannot demand more of a guy than what he's given us, which is better performance after better performance against better performance. We just can't do it. Now, he came out with Ariel. This was one of the more interesting segments in the history of Ariel's illustrious career. It was a cooking segment. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're on Ariel's set. This whole thing staged, the whole thing set up. I've never seen Ariel do this before. If he's done it, I've missed it. If he's going to continue to do this, I encourage him to. Volkanovski comes onto the set of the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. They got a kitchen set up. Volkanovski's got the apron. He's got the chef's hat on. He's going to show you how to make breaded chicken. I call that chicken parmesan. He called it breaded chicken. Why they were doing this, I had the foggiest idea. So Volkanovski put it out a cookbook. Is this, hey, Volk, as soon as the weight cut is done, what is the #1 meal that you haven't had? I don't know why they did this. I don't need to. I'm into it. And there is something compelling about a fighter having a meal. That will never go away. You guys have never watched, I'll tell you, one of the most effective shows ever. Ever. For marketing of a fight is something called 24/7. 24/7, who is most known for following Floyd Mayweather and his opponent around, would never turn in a show without turning in a trip through the McDonald's drive-through window as Floyd gets himself a Big Mac. It had nothing to do with the cholesterol or the McDonald's or potential sponsorship. It had nothing to do with it. There's something compelling about watching an athlete eat. I don't know why. I can't tell you more than that. Dana White has now tested this out where he's doing it on every effing Friday. One of the most successful things that Dana's ever done, he makes a meal, he takes a bite, and he's out. He doesn't even advertise anything. He doesn't do that on the back end go, watch the UFC this week. He does not. He's doing this little cookie show. It's interesting. Patty Pimblett did this 1 week ago. Patty fought at 155 pounds. See, 45-pound, 55-pounder? and then weighed 200 pounds 10 days later, but he showed us how we got there. And I mean, he was eating boxes of donuts and boxes of cookies. He was eating entire pizzas. He's eating fish and chips and sodas. He's eating ice cream. It was interesting. I don't make the rules. There's something very, and I can't say that about all cooking shows. I don't go watch Rachel Ray, just by example. I don't watch Bourdain that often. And then you got one called Dumpsters, Dine-Ins, and Drives, something along these lines. They do very well. I think that was Guy Fieri. They do very well. I'm not into them. I'm sharing an athlete specifically. Eating a meal is compelling. It is. And Volkanovski going on Ariel's show and making breaded chicken has got to be I just need to know why. Perhaps it was in there. Perhaps I didn't watch long enough or set the setup before. I don't know why they were doing that. I want to know the why, and then I want that duplicated. I want other athletes coming on, teach us how to cook something, which, by the way, I know how to make breaded chicken. I learned two things, two secrets, if you will, from watching Volkanovski. My wife and I are making it tonight. We're going to try Volkanovski's version of this. I should probably film it. I should probably bring it to you guys, and you would find it enjoyable. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about a professional athlete that you think is fueled in a certain way, you think is living a certain lifestyle, and then maybe he is. Maybe he's eating a really healthy meal. Maybe he's making a family secret. Maybe he's going through the drive-thru like Floyd. But there's something there, and it's interesting.